So I said we're going to do this. We're going to talk about the running back room for the Sooners, as well as some breaking news dropped as I was preparing to record this. I mean, Coop recorded our evening episode, so you'll hear about that as well. So we'll have that running tonight. But want to dive into the running back room a little bit, as what Brent Venables said, as well as what Ben Arbuckle had to say, and then this breaking news of a player that just departed. So let's dive into that. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. It's a Hog Media production presented by our partners at Sleeper. If you're not checking them out for daily fantasy football, you are missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. They're going to hook you up with $20 just for signing up and match your first deposit up to $100 at 100%. Use our promo code UNFAIR. So, first off, let's go to the breaking news. I think that's probably the most important thing. And it is that wide receiver Jayden Gibson is no longer with the program. Brent Venables said on the teleconference today, and he has entered the transfer portal. So, yeah, unfortunately, Jayden Gibson is out. You know, he had been dealing with a bunch of injuries. He had the patella tendon tear last fall, and then he had a setback in the spring. He's been going through rehab. They've been hoping that he'd come back healthy and ready to go, and unfortunately, it did not work out. So a lot of you have been asking. I've known this for a while, but none of it was public. And what I was told is there were conversations that they were working on getting him to come back again. Like, he was going to enter the portal last year. And they taught him to come back, continue his rehab, and it just did not work out. And so, unfortunately, it didn't. Now, the thing about that is that this room is pretty deep. Wide receiver room is pretty solid for Oklahoma right now. You got Giovanni back, he's ramped up. He's getting ramped up, and he's playing more snaps and stuff. So, I actually expect to see a lot of Giovanni Gibson against South Carolina going forward. The biggest thing with him has been just they didn't want to rush him back from that that ankle situation. So I think it's tib and fib or whatever. And so he's back. He's playing. You've seen him do some plays. Heck, he made that throw, which was weird, but at the same time kind of cool. But you've got wide receivers. Like, you still can play Elijah Thomas. That was even addressed in the presser. They asked Ben Arbuckle about Elijah Thomas and will we see him? And he said, yeah, you're going to probably start seeing him a little bit more in. The only thing is the depth chart is really deep. We've got the wide receivers that are pretty solid balling. And so now the biggest thing is that Ben Arbuckle is going to have to play a few more people, right? There's a few more that he's going to have to put on the field now. But yeah, we expect to see more. We expect to see what we have. And Elijah Thomas is making a massive impact on the special team side. And right now, the room is deep. He's competing with a lot of veterans. And right now, Giovanni's probably the one that's probably the most in his way, because Satania's been balling. Burks has been okay, but he's been effective. And Keontez Lewis, coming back from the dead numerous times, he's balling. So we just got to get, if anything, we need to get John Mateer squared up and throwing the ball better. So let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Definitely want to hear your thoughts. And so with that, we know that we got to talk about this running back room because both the coaches addressed it. Me and John talked about it a little bit on Locked On, but there was a few things that I was thinking about in regards to what we need to do in that room and what we need to do to be successful as a team. And I kind of expect Oklahoma to make a couple adjustments that we need. So let's talk about that. But first, shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper. If you're not checking them out for daily fantasy football, you're missing out. They're going to hook y'all up. They're going to give you $20 just for signing up by using our promo code UNFAIR. And they're going to also match you at 100% up to $100 if you decide to make a deposit. But if you want to test them out, you can. And so look at some of these picks real quick. I've been playing around for the evening or whatnot. Let's look at college football, of course, for the weekend. I'm looking at some weekend picks. Actually, let's move this. You can actually sort this out, which is pretty cool. They make it really easy to get going. So we can pick here. We can sort this just to the SEC. And I'm going to take John Mateer right here for more than 235 yards. I think Diego Pavia does not pass for more than 200 yards against LSU, but I think he runs like crazy. And then give me Bernard versus Tennessee. Oh, yeah. Both defenses give up yards. And I think we can hold Lenore Sellers to just under 50 yards rushing, but I think he gets more than 29, so we'll do that. Two or more or less. Caden Durham has been, we'll go more. And you can win up to 1,000 times your money just by, making these picks. So check them out. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and they can match your first deposit up at 100% up to $100. And they're going to give you $20 just for signing up. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleepers Terms of Use for details. Now, both coaches have addressed the running back room in their pressers. And I think the thing that jumped out to me really is both have talked about, like BV said, Torrey Blaylock's been MVP. He's been fantastic, and he's been doing more as a true freshman. So you're like, all right, cool. Hand him the ball, run it. But what about everybody else? Well, BV talked about Taylor Tatum, who's been snake bitten. He's been dealing with injuries over the last few weeks. He's got he got an ankle injury. He had a hammy situation. It's just been bad luck for him, unfortunately. And of course, we would like to see him on the field, but he's not. He just hasn't been healthy. And so now you're probably going to see more. You're going to see more Blaylock this season. And even from there, like, the one big question has been, why haven't we seen more, of course, Ott, right? Like, can we get more Jaden Ott in this game? And you probably will moving forward. He hasn't been the greatest, and a lot of y'all don't want him to play, but he's going to play. And the reason he's going to play is because we ain't got no other backs. Like, you saw the stinger that Xavier Robinson got in the game, hurt his shoulder. You saw a little bit out of, who was that? I think Gabe Salchuk gave me a couple yards or whatnot. But I digress. Ott is going to end up playing a lot more, specifically because it's Torrey Blaylock and him that you really got going. Javante Barnes hasn't played, and he didn't play last game because he's been hurt. BV said he hurt his hamstring in a little short-term hamstring situation in warm-ups before the Texas game. So snake been in the running back room this time, except for Torrey Blaylock, and we just need Jaden Ott to produce something. He's going to play the rest of the season. I know y'all don't want him to. He's going to. He's a senior. He can't redshirt. He's playing the rest of the year. So they're going to put him out there. Hopefully he redeems himself and gives you something. So we'll just wait and see. And hopefully X-Rob gets healthy and he can also contribute. And, of course, John Mateer is going to run the ball like crazy. So I expect the running back room to try to get a little bit better. But Tatum being hurt again sucks. Barnes hurting his hammy sucks. I actually wonder if they're going to go ahead and redshirt. Let Barnes redshirt and let him just go ahead and go to another school and play. He'll go somewhere else and ball out too. If he can go to like the Big 12 or even ACC, yeah, he actually do good in the Big 12. He'd be a solid contributing back. So he's only played 4 games, so he could redshirt, sit the rest of the year, and then you just lean in on Torrey Blaylock. But I think if anything, Oklahoma needs to go to not only the portal, they're going to need to go recruit another running back to go with DeSephon Walker. You're going to need more backs. You're struggling back there. You're going to need more backs in the backfield. And so we'll see what happens. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. Definitely hear your thoughts. Sucks to see Jayden Gibson's out, but, life happens, dog. It just is what it is. So, all right, we'll be back. Like I said, another video. We'll talk a little bit more around the defense in preparation for the South Carolina game. Check the live out. Me and Coop go live at 6 p.m. Central. I actually think it's either 5 or 6, one of the two. I got to check what time it's set for. But we'll go live. Check us out. And, we'll talk soon. Peace.